Hey people, what's up? Good morning. Looks like I got a lot of lines to clean up on my chart. What's up, Paul? Hey, Jonathan. Jimmy. Ask him what the government shutdown is about. Well, it happens a lot. So if you're not aware, this is a very normal thing to occur. Congress and the president can't agree on how to spend. So parts of the government will shut down until they can come to a resolution. Future Fits, good morning, good morning. Little range action today. Let's get our key levels marked out. We made a run at the all-time high yesterday. Didn't quite get that going. The market died. Now we're like right on low from yesterday. Still got that all-time high above us. There we go. There's our key levels all good to go. Morning, Ross. Future Fits, yeah. I think you're right on there. Choppiness and uncertainty would definitely be what to expect. Yeah, not a lot of action. If there's a government shutdown, typically in the futures market, it's going to be pretty dead. But nevertheless, the market is going to be open here in about 2.5 minutes. Hey, Julian, good morning. Potential long trade here, guys. We have an uptrend breaking out of this range. We have a two-legged pullback right at the 21 EMA. If this bar can turn around and close really bullish, I might consider taking this long. As far as news goes, we do have jolts today. We'll want to watch for that at 10 a.m. I can definitely have a market impact. As with most econ news lately, not very likely to cause major market movement, but should see some volatility for sure. Right, about 20 seconds until the market open. Morning, Tom. Anna, Squid, good to see you guys. Tempting to take this trade right off the open, but I'm going to hold off. Here we go. Market is open. That trade would have worked out, but a little sketch going right off the bell. See if we can break either the overnight low or the overnight high. That will be necessary if we're going to get any movement today. Notice we're right in that range from yesterday. We essentially spent all day, all afternoon in this area. Nasdaq dropping pretty good. May have the beginnings of a wider downtrend. We'll monitor that. Let's mark out our levels on NQ2. Nasdaq never actually filled the gap yesterday, while ES did. New swing high was formed though. And then right above that is that all-time high. The NQ is very close to that. Shoot, there was a setup on ES and I was dinking around. Didn't get it. Nice higher low. Confirming that second entry. Looks like Archer got it. Move up. Two-legged pullback. We didn't take this right off the open, but then we got a higher low confirmation. Scalp out right there. Yeah, by the way, guys, on the market, or sorry, the government shutdown piece, historically, the market doesn't really care about that. So if anyone's sitting out there worried about the shutdown from a trading perspective, don't. It rarely ever has an impact. NQ's got a nice little downtrend going. Some obvious weakness in tech. However, that looks like we may have overshot that little channel. NQ's right at that overnight low on an overshoot. Very possible that we bounce here. I'm even tempted to go long, honestly. But I'm not going to do that. ES is dropping as well. Could actually break out of that range to the downside on NQ, especially with that weakness. Looking to see if we can get a pullback here on the S&P. Could consider a short if we get some rejection there at the 21. Good morning, by the way, Pablo. Good to have you here. I realized I have not, I don't think I marked out yesterday's levels on NQ. We got that gap fill, obviously, and then it's quite a ways down before we get to that low. So, there we go. S&P still right in the middle of all this chop. Might have to extend this range on ES. Could consider a long. We can continue to chop our way down to the support. Get a really nice bullish bar here. could consider a long off that. Matt, thank you. I don't think I have a... Oh yeah, I guess maybe my mic is a little bit lower than normal. Let me turn it up. Testing. Hey yo. Getting a little bit louder. Alright. I think that's better. Don't want you guys to miss out on my lovely voice. Good to see you, by the way, Matt. S&P back to the middle of the range here. Kind of looks like we might get an uptrend. Good morning, Neil. And if we can get a trend started here, we'd definitely be interested in taking something. Ideally, we break through this resistance, get above that. Meanwhile, on the Nasdaq, we're still holding below the range for now. Higher low going on Nasdaq. Kind of hard to trade this. The downtrend still technically in play on NQ, so we wouldn't want to go long yet. However, we're right at that support level, so not looking to short right into that either. Gonna have to be patient there. Meanwhile, ES continuing its sideways chop right at the midline of this range. Finally getting that pop on NQ. Looks like that support is holding. get above the EMA, I'll consider a long. ES also starting to raise up here. Ed, good morning to you. S&P testing the top of that range there. Morning to everyone just entering in the chat. Good to have you guys. S&P technically pulling back here on this uptrend. I don't like how we possibly had an overshoot right at resistance. Same thing that happened to NQ. And then we got that big bounce. As oftentimes when you see reversals, guys, when you get an overshoot right at a support or a resistance level. Now we're dropping down just like that. Morning, Toad. Yeah, for sure a range here. So, like I said earlier, would be looking for a long if we can get back to this support area. Just the main thing is we don't want to have a straight up and down move there, right? We want to chop our way down. We get this kind of action down to the support, no trends in play, and then a really nice bullish bar. It's where we could consider going long. NQ a little bit more bearish than the S&P. It only got back to the midline of that range. Now it's dropping back down. If we can get a lower high there, I would consider taking it. If we can get back to the 21, give us a lower high. This move down on S&P. Oh yeah, shoot, we got news coming up here very soon. Jolts at 10 a.m. Nasdaq is very close to filling that gap down there. The S&P is coming down to test yesterday's low. We're about 5 minutes now away from jolts. Ross, we talked about jolts earlier, but it should have a definite impact for a few candles. Not likely to cause a complete trend for the day, though. But something to be aware of. Not a good idea to be in the middle of a trade when that goes down. There's a bounce right off of that support on the S&P. This range continues. I would never dare tell you what to do, Toad. I know better than that. Yeah, this is range behavior. When you get these moves that start looking really good and then all of a sudden you just reverse on a dime, you know you're in a range. It is the last day, just so everyone's aware, last day for that Apex sale. 80% off. And yeah, also it's hold on, trying to pull it up here. Also still $85 for lifetime fees. So if you pass, only 85 bucks. That's a huge discount. Resets are only 50 bucks. And the larger counts are specially priced. So they're just the same as the smaller ones. So you can get a larger account for the price of a smaller one, plus discounted fees, plus $50 resets. That ends today. So if you're going to take advantage of it, now's the time. Right, there is jolts right there. Sorry I didn't count down in Spanish for you, Toad. Came in a little bit higher than forecasted. Not by much. We weren't expecting this to cause any trends, like I've already said. But now we're at the top of this range. So if this little uptrend can play itself out, like if we pull back here, get that break, come back up, and then get a bearish bar, I'd be willing to take that short. NQ's in the middle of a bounce too, right off of that gap fill. Okay, we're getting the breaking new high of that trend on ES, so watch for a bar here. Watch for a nice bearish bar. We could consider taking it. The only problem is that NQ is still in the middle of a trend, so trend is active on NQ. Definitely not be shorting here, and that kind of adds to some uncertainty about shorting on the ES. However, I will still take it if it looks really good. There's that new high on ES. Inside bar there. Not going to take that short. Looking for a bearish hammer. Could look for a lower high now though, since we didn't quite get that bar. Nice, Archer. Glad you had a good bar there. It does make me realize I have not reloaded my data. Alright, chart reloaded. Looks about the same. Wish we could have taken it, but if you had a good bar on your chart, that was the area to take it, just like I detailed out for you there. Move up, break new high, right at this resistance. Just looking for a good bar to short, and there's your short. Happened right on cue. It's amazing once you learn price action, guys. Moves don't surprise you anymore. I'm sure there's a lot of people that were thinking, oh, here's the breakout, and then all of a sudden it drops. I'm not sure why. You learn how to read price action, you're ready for it. See if we can get a short on this pullback. Just waiting for a bearish bar right at the EMA. We'll take it for a short. While we're waiting, masterclass is dropping tomorrow, guys. It's going down. There will be a discount for Discord members, so if you're not a member of that community, that would be a good reason to do that. Doesn't look like we're getting back to the 21 there. NQs is going back and forth. We don't even really have a solid range to go off of. No consistent highs or lows here. We're just having to keep track of each individual trend, but very range-like behavior with your big V-shaped reversals in both directions. I'm hoping the S&P gets back to support. We can look to buy again. SS, yeah, automatically renews every month. Or depending on your plan. You can also like opt to do a 6-month plan or a yearly plan, which gives you a discount, and then you don't have to worry about it for that amount of time too. Downtrend played out on ES. We're not at support though, so we cannot buy just yet. Come on, man. We got to get down to support if we're looking for a long here. Can't really take it at this level. We're just kind of floating. Maybe the range could be moved up. Not really. We'll just have to be patient here. Didn't get a bar anyway. Joanne asking about Discord membership. The question was just if the membership renews. So it does, depending on what plan you have, monthly or 6 months or year. But you can cancel anytime. It's really easy. Getting a little bounce here on ES. And we really don't have any other possible catalysts for the day. Already got through jolts and consumer confidence. I guess President Trump is speaking in 45 minutes, but that hasn't really been doing much as far as the market is concerned. The market's no longer reacting to what Trump says, really. If policies are implemented, it will react, but there's been too many things he said that just, you don't know if it's going to happen or not. So I wouldn't put too much credence in that announcement here at 11 a.m. Good to be aware of, right? Might not be the best thing to take a position, right, as that's about to go down. But as far as like putting our hope in that for changing the course of the market or, causing a trend, I don't think that's going to happen. NQ still doing its thing in Nowheresville. Just, man, this price action is not friendly. No consistent highs or lows. It's just having reversal after reversal. All right, S&P is back up at that resistance area. Let's see if we can get a short this time. Just need this uptrend to play out, just like we were looking for the last time around. Getting a little break of the trend, that's perfect. And we want to see one more push up. And then right here, get a bearish hammer. We'll be able to short that. Dropping down with no setup yet. We need that push up so that we can confidently say the uptrend is played out. Joanne asking, how large are my stops? You always want stops to be protected by price action. So even if you have, and be consistent with your risk. So it kind of doesn't, in general, it doesn't really matter. Like if you have, let's say you have a 40-point stop, right, on the S&P. That's a $2,000 risk. Well, if you have a large enough account to take on that risk, kind of doesn't matter. And then you just want to make sure that your risk to reward makes sense. The better your risk to reward, like the better, the lower win rate that you'll need to be successful, right? So that's, I mean, generally speaking, it doesn't matter how big your stop is as long as it matches up with your risk. You know, on the other hand, like let's say you had a really small stop. Let's say, you know, let's say 4 points, right? But you're trading 15 contracts. That's more risk than having a 40-point stop with one contract. So that's the big thing, is make sure your size actually makes sense. But in terms of price action, you always want your stop to be protected by price action. It doesn't make sense to put your stop like in the middle somewhere where there's all this chop, right? Because price obviously is going above and below these areas all the time. You want your stops to be like above swings so that price can chop around below that and your idea can still be valid. Size matters. Yes, it does, Tom. Anyway, I always put my stop one tick above or below the signal bar. So if I'm going short at the top of the range, let's say that I was going to go short right here. Stop goes one tick above. Same right here. If I take a short, my stop's going to go one tick above. That way it's protected by price action. Did not make a new high there. Did not get the bar we're looking for. Ay, ay, ay. But nevertheless, that does confirm our range, which is nice, even though if we didn't get a setup. Hey, this range is solid. Price clearly respecting it. So we'll look for either a short on the way down or a long once we get to the bottom. So for the short on the way down, we got this little trend. We want a pullback that has 2 legs to the EMA. Like this, like this. Nice bearish bar. Then we can get a short. And then maybe right after that, we get a nice bullish bar here at the bottom of the range, and we're going long. So I'll probably take a minute for that to all develop. Guys, masterclass dropping tomorrow. Make sure you tune into the stream. That is going down. As far as the rest of the day, at least this range is consistent. We actually might have a lot of opportunities. Range days have a lot of great opportunities if the range stays consistent, which so far it is. We have nice price turning around at the same points every time. That's perfect. That's exactly what you want to see. So yeah, you don't have to have a nice trend day to get some good trades in the market. So we'll be trading that the rest of the day in the Discord. Again, like I said earlier, if you're a Discord member, you're going to get a discount on the masterclass, which is dropping tomorrow. So, hey, if you've been thinking about joining the Discord, now's the time. Link is somewhere down there. I believe it's the first one. But anyway, thanks for tuning in, guys. Appreciate y'all. Hope you have a wonderful day, and I'll see you soon.